everybody, I'm Timothy from Cinema Content, and today I will show you how to make edits. This is the first episode of how to make edits. I'm just gonna show you the basics, how I make my edits, my personal preferences, and just the way that I like to make videos. So if you have any specific questions, be sure to comment down below, and I will read the comments and hopefully I can make a video about it. But for now, let's make an edit. When we're inside Premiere Pro, what I have brought in here is, in my project folder down here, is the song we're going to use, Human. As you can see here, I have pretty much all the movies from Marvel. So we have all the Avengers movies, Black Panther, Captain America, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy, so on. To start off doing this edit, we need to create a new sequence. I'm gonna create one right now. Human, here we have it. So we have the timeline here. So let's drag in the music. Now we have the music here. Usually when I make my edits, I'm not starting from the beginning of the edit. A lot of people do it, like they make the beginning, the middle, the end. It's okay if you like to do that. This is not how to make every edit, it's how to make my edits. I like to fill out the best parts of the song first, because that's easier to do, and then I just fill up the rest. Okay, so as you can see, when I'm choosing my clips for the video, I will go into different movies. So I have the whole movies downloaded. If you go into a movie, you can see that this is the timeline. This is the whole Avengers Infinity War. So when I go in here, you see the green markers here, all the green stuff on the timeline. I have put these green markers there to know where all the good scenes are. So for example, if we go here, we take one here, you can see this is one of the most popular scenes in the whole Infinity War. It's when Cap takes out the shield and go like cha-chow. I've marked the scenes that I know I will use frequently. So now you know how I choose the clips for my video, and I'm going to choose the first clip of the beginning of the video. So for my first clip, you know the song starts a bit slow. Usually the intro of the song is much longer. It's like 1 second intro. Most songs have like 10 or 15 seconds of intro. What we need to do is get a clip that's slow in the beginning but starts off a real nice action sequence. So what we need to do is grab one scene that we think fits it pretty well. So I think I found a good start for the song, and it's the scene where Quicksilver like cracks his neck and then runs off into destroying some robots. So we have the clip here. Boom. Okay, but I just want a scene where he breaks his neck. You know what I mean. So with the markers here, I can choose exactly what part of the movie I want to drag into my sequence. So I'm gonna start here, cracks his neck, and it's about to run in. Vroom. Like that. Okay, so when we drag it in here, this is the first clip of the sequence. And as you can see now, the music is right up here. I think this is just my opinion, but the song is always in the way of the normal sound clips. So what I like to do is to drag down the song at least like 5 tracks down, so it isn't in the way of the normal sound clips from the movie with the sound effects. So we're just gonna sync it up here, so when he runs away, it's when the first punch comes from the song. Unfortunately, this clip has pretty loud music compared to the crack of the neck. I'm afraid we can't use the original clip for this one. Okay, so now I've matched the clip as much as I can to the music.
Maybe I'm foolish.
Okay, so that's a pretty good start on my edit, in my opinion. Maybe as you can tell by this music, this edit will focus a lot on transitions. So what we need to do is find another clip of someone punching in the same direction as Quicksilver is running. Okay, so I think I found one pretty good scene that will match the motion of Quicksilver's running. So this is in Captain America Civil War. So let's mark about when he hits the shield. There we go. And we don't want when Captain America is falling, because it's not part of the motion we are looking for here. Let's have a look at how the motion of the two clips fit together. I think it matches pretty good. The next thing to do is make sure that the audio is not cut so harshly. So as you can see here, the audio of Captain America getting punched by Iron Man, the audio starts exactly when the clip starts. So what I like to do is hold down Alt, press on the soundtrack and drag it out. So as you can see here, on the sound waves, you can see where the punch will begin. So it's exactly at the transition, which is what we in this case want. You see these three here is for fading in and out audio, and this one here is for fading in and out video. So now I'm just making sure that the audio runs smooth and you don't just jump cut to the sound where Captain America is getting punched by Iron Man. I think the next clip is going to be from Captain Marvel. We have her like pause in the middle of a flight and then goes away again. Putting it in here. So now we have all our clips. So now it will look like this.
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind.
I think that's a pretty good start. Okay, so I think I found the clip that I want. It's here when Falcon passes by the camera like this. Okay, so sometimes when you do transitions, you don't have to match the two clips perfectly. You just have to find like a motion between the two clips. So if you see that Captain Marvel will fly away, you have seen the clips earlier, so you know that when she do this, she's about to fly away. So your brain is prepared to see something very fast. Okay, so now have another look at how it's going.
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind. Thinking I can see.
The beginning is pretty boring when you don't hear any sound from Quicksilver. I've actually downloaded some sound effects for bone breaking. Let's see if we can find the right one. So let's have a look at this.
Maybe I'm foolish.
Okay, that's pretty good. I think I will add another clip from Age of Ultron when Iron Man is flying by to match the clip when Falcon is passing by the camera. Okay, so I found the next clip for syncing up with Falcon. So now let's have a look at what we have created this far.
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind. Thinking I can see through.
Okay, this is a good start, and I think I will leave this bit here and continue working on another place in the edit. And just so you guys know, when I'm doing an edit, it will take at least 10 hours, often more than 20 hours. So I will make a lot of different videos showing off different tips and techniques. So you can consider this as the video of how I make my edits, in which style and in which pace I usually do my edits, and not exactly every detail of what I'm doing, because that will take way too much time for one video. So the clip I'm going to use here is one from Spider-Man Far From Home. So as you can see here, he goes up, like stays in the same spot in the air, and then flies away. And when he's just a big blur, that's where I want the next transition. For the next clip, we have to find a video of someone going up in basically the same direction as Spider-Man. Okay, so we have this clip here where his feet transforms. So as you can see here, Spider-Man is just a blur. What we need to do is find exactly when Iron Man is the same in this version. As you can see, Iron Man is going in the wrong direction, obviously. What we need to do is we need to go horizontal flip. And as you can hear by the name, it will flip the clip horizontally. I think that worked well. I found another clip now When you're doing transitions, you have to think of what the motion seems to do. What I think of now is he's smashing the legs of someone, and the person in the next clip will like fly all over and just face plants in the ground. So this is the original clip. Whee, bonk. Okay, that's good. Perfect. Okay, so now we have the clip of Spider-Man. Okay, so now let's have a look. Okay, perfect. So another part of my editing process is, of course, the color grading. So what I like to do is I just create this adjustment layer. There we go. I drag it into the sequence. To color grade my clips, I use an effect called Lumetri Color. And I drag it over the adjustment layer. And basically what I do now is I can color whatever I want on the adjustment layer, and it will affect all the clips. So the first thing is just to add some contrast. I usually bring up the exposure just a little bit. I go down to curves, way down to hue and saturation. So basically what you can do here is you can choose which colors you want to be more saturated and which colors you want less saturated. So I often like to saturate the blue and aqua colors. Playing around with saturation and other features is very fun to do in Premiere Pro. And that's actually been one of my problems with my edits, that I have played around too much with color grading and therefore destroying the color of the edit. You can see here before and after what I've done. This is before and this is after. And as you can see here, when I did the color grading and put on the adjustment layer, all the clips became yellow again. So what you need to do is just re-render the whole clip. And this might take a while, so my suggestion for you is to make the color grading in the beginning of the edit, so you don't have to render all the clips at the same time with the color again. There we go, all the clips are rendered again. Another thing that you can see here is the first Avengers movie has no black bars. So when you watch the other scenes compared to this one, I just don't like when some scenes has black bars and some don't. I mean, in movies it's okay, but when I'm making an edit, I don't like when it switches between black bars and not black bars. What I can do to fix this is I go to my effects, search crop, and then I drag crop onto the adjustment layer. And when we go down to the crop, you can see here that we can crop from different angles of the clip. So what we need is top and bottom, because we don't need to shrink down the sides. So if we go for bottom, I usually go with 13 and 13 here. So as you can see here, for some clips comparison, you can see that it's just a little bit smaller. So before, after. When you put it over the scene from Avengers, you can see that it now has black bars, just like all the other clips. Okay, so we need another clip of Hawkeye when he fires his bow. Okay, so we have this first clip with Hawkeye from the first Avengers. Then we have Hawkeye from Civil War. as usual, we need to find another clip of someone punching in the same style that Spider-Man is doing in this clip. I think one part in Infinity War, it says like, somebody get to Vision, and then he poof, boom, right when he smashes that. And as you can see, it is now the opposite, so we need to do a horizontal flip again. Horizontal. There we go. So I think we should end the clip right here. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so right about here. Okay, so now let's have a look at the transition. Perfect. So I think I'm gonna use this clip when it just jumps out of the portal. So I'm gonna combine the clip with Spider-Man coming out and kicking Thanos in the face. Okay, so let's have a watch. Yeah, okay, that's good. So I think I'm gonna work more on this transition right here. It will be too much time for this video, but I will definitely show how I do these transitions later on my channel. Okay, so now I've done a pretty good transition between the two clips by using After Effects. So let's have a watch on how the transition turned out. But for the next part where you see this climax of the song here, you can listen. I think that's the best transition in the whole edit, so I'm going to put that together last. I actually want to do the ending, so when I've done the ending I can like see how much I have left and have motivation to work through the rest of the edit. So I often like to do the beginning, the middle and the end, and then fill up the small parts. So as you can see now, when I put the first clip from Endgame, you can see that it's blank. So to see the waveforms, you have to double click here on the audio track, and that's because I downloaded the Avengers Endgame in surround. To begin with, it actually was a mistake. I will show in individual episodes benefits you have of having the audio in 5.1, but the thing we need to concern about now is you can see this clip won't go to the normal audio tracks. You see, I can't drag it upwards. And that's because you gotta have specific tracks just for the 5.1 audio. The first time you put in a clip with 5.1 audio, it's actually going to create a new audio track. What I like to do is I drag down, I create a new one by dragging even more down. There we go, another one, and one last. There we go. So if I do this, you can actually see the audio tracks here. You have first the 5.1 that I just created, and then above the song you see normal tracks. As I told you earlier, I like to have the song at the bottom. I'm going to take this song and I'm going to drag it all the way down here. So now what we have here is the normal audio tracks, the surround audio tracks, and then the song at the very bottom. I've just put together a small ending of people being humans, really.
I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me.
So in that way I'm finishing off the edit in a pretty decent way, in my opinion. So let's just continue with the rest of the edit now. So right about when you hear these two beats in the music right here. So I want a turning transition of people flying around. So let's just go ahead and look for clips of people flying and turning. I got a lot of them. So I think this part will do the trick. This clip really has a lot of motion going on. For the first, the camera is moving up. It centers around Peter Quill, and then the camera like pans a little bit to the left. I want to begin after the blast in the background because I think that will be too much of a distraction for this clip. So right about here and all the way to when he's as close to the camera as possible. I'm pretty sure a clip of Iron Man would do very well together with this clip of Star-Lord. So let's go ahead and find a clip of Iron Man. I know there's a lot of clips in the end of Age of Ultron. Okay, so right here. And as you can tell, as usual, these two clips are the opposite of each other. So we need to do the normal horizontal flip. I'm actually going to use a third clip to this transition. So after some more editing magic, I've now completed the transition from Star-Lord to Iron Man to Falcon. I've been editing in both Premiere Pro and After Effects for this transition to work. So here we go. So as we can see here, Star-Lord starts to spin, he comes close to the camera, and when it's as close as possible, I simply do a cross dissolve to the clip of Iron Man. That's the first part. Then I've done some scaling and positioning to get the right angle so they really just sync up. And I've also done some color grading on the individual clip of Iron Man. So as you can see here, he's very dark and blue in the beginning and then fades out to be completely normal. And that's to better blend in with the clip before. So as you can see, Star-Lord is pretty blue, so when it fades out, Iron Man is also dark and blue. And when it fades out to Falcon, I've also done a cross dissolve and just some scaling. You can see here in the edges, the camera does a digital zoom out. So yeah, that's basically the transition I've been working on for now. And now we have this empty space here between they going up in the sky and Star-Lord just spinning around. Actually, I'm going to extend the transition I've already been working on. I know there's a lot of clips of Captain America just spinning around, so I'm going to put together some clips of him and hopefully they will match up with Star-Lord flying and spinning around. There we go. Maybe right there. So as you can see, the momentum of Captain America spinning around and Star-Lord spinning around is now matching up together. So you can follow Captain America's legs when he does this epic flip, and you can see that momentum carries over when Star-Lord is spinning around in the same speed. It's not every time you have to have the same exact body movement. You can just have the same momentum of characters flying around. Spinning, 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 spinning. So that's what you're looking for when you're doing a transition and you want the movement, the speed. You want everything to line up. You want everything to just feel. Not just the clips, your whole body. So when you're watching this transition of everyone just spinning around, you should feel yourself as well spinning around with the clips. So that's really what you're looking for. So often when you start a transition, you need a clip that has no momentum and then goes to full momentum. So if we take this clip from Civil War, when Captain America and Spider-Man are fighting, this scene starts out with him standing basically completely still. And then what you can do is break just about the time when it's jumping around. And you have all seen this clip. You know that it's going to spin around and all stuff. So when you see this, when he takes his foot up, you instantly know that there's going to be a spin. And that way, you can bring the clip down. In some sort of way, it tricks the brain to feel the motion, but you feel the same motion in a different clip. So you can see, if you follow Captain America's legs, you can actually feel the same emotion between two clips. Okay, I think we're done with this part of the video. So I think this transition really turned out well. For this video will just be the basic. You can see how I edit, in which style I'm editing, what I tend to think while I'm editing. I can't go into details on everything I'm doing, but I will show you as much as I can in this one episode and then do specific things step by step in other episodes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and continue with this part of the edit. Okay, so the video is completely done and I'm just going to export it. Then we will be ready to finally review the edit. For the detail editing I did, for example, I did some color grading for individual clips to make transitions seem more natural, as well as I did some scaling and positioning to help the effect of smoother transitions even more. So let's take a look.
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind, but I can see through this, see what's behind. Got the way to prove it, so maybe I'm right. I can see through this, see what's behind. Got the way to prove it, so maybe I'm right. Some people got willpower, some people got love, some people think I'm so loose. Lord, help me.
We're all gonna die!
I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put your blame on me.
Yeah. Okay, so that was today's video. I really hope you liked both the tutorial and the final edit. I will post this edit on my channel as a separate video, so you can watch it in full HD. If you liked what I did today, be sure to subscribe for more content, more tutorials and more editing. And again, thank you everybody so much for watching this video. Stay awesome.